the 4th Precinct, Sergeant Marcus Miller wasn't just a cop, he was the North Star. He had more commendations than some precincts had officers. When I was assigned to him as a rookie, I thought I'd won the lottery. He taught me how to read a room, how to talk down a jumper, and how to spot a lie from a mile away. But Miller had a rule he repeated every day. The street is messy, Elias. Sometimes, to keep the peace, you have to tidy up the paperwork. At the time, I thought he meant bureaucracy. I didn't realize he meant the truth. I'm standing in the evidence room right now, holding a drive that proves the man who gave me my shield is the reason this city is bleeding. The hero of this city just became its biggest villain. It started with the cold case audit, the 2024 double homicide at the Miller Street docks. I was looking for a specific angle from a 360-degree street cam, but when I hit the 2 a.m. mark, the feed just blinked. 40 minutes of high-definition footage replaced by a system maintenance screen. In the old days, you could say a tape was lost, but in 2026, everything is mirrored on a decentralized node. I used a deep recovery forensic tool called Bit Sleuth. It doesn't just look for files, it looks for the ghosts left behind by deletions. As the progress bar crawled toward 100%, my heart was hitting my ribs. Then it popped up. Manual deletion confirmed. Admin ID 7742. That's Miller's private key. My mentor didn't just find a glitch. He was the glitch. I didn't just stumble onto the truth. I had to reconstruct it bit by bit. When I first pulled the logs for the Miller Street docks case, the metadata showed a clean exit. No errors, no crashes. But that was the first red flag. In a city with our level of electromagnetic interference, a perfect file is usually a forged one. I didn't just stumble onto the truth. I had to reconstruct it bit by bit. When I first pulled the logs for the Miller Street docks case, the metadata showed a clean exit. No errors, no crashes. But that was the first red flag. In a city with our level of electromagnetic interference, a perfect file is usually a forged one. I initiated a header analysis on the corrupted sectors. The server claimed the footage was lost during a routine RAID resync, but the parity bits didn't match. Someone hadn't just deleted the file. They had performed a bit-level overwrite using a department-issued administrative bypass. I ran a deep packet inspection on the internal uplink. That's when I saw it. Login protocol ID 7742, Miller's unique hash. He didn't just hit delete, he used a digital shredder, a tool meant for protecting undercover identities, to wipe his own presence from the scene. But Miller is old school. He forgot about the secondary cache in the precinct's smart lighting system. Those IoT devices capture low-res metadata as a failsafe. I bridged the connection, ran a packet reconstruction, and there it was. The ghost file. 40 minutes of raw, unedited betrayal. I watched that clip 50 times, hoping I was wrong. I wasn't. Miller wasn't just tidying up paperwork. He was acting as a concierge for the cartel. I started digging deeper. Every major bust Miller had in the last 5 years had a technical failure in the evidence. I tried to play it cool. I went to him that afternoon, ostensibly for advice on the audit. I'll never forget the way he looked at me. He didn't even look up from his coffee. He just said, "Elias, some people are too important to the ecosystem to put in a cage. You start pulling at threads, the whole sweater unravels, and you're wearing that sweater too." It wasn't advice, it was a threat. The blue wall isn't made of bricks, it's made of silence, and it was closing in on me. Watching that footage was like watching my own father pull the trigger. Miller wasn't just there, he was directing. He stood in the blind spot of the remaining cameras, using his hand radio to signal the shooter. He didn't know I was using AI-driven gait analysis to confirm his identity even when his face was turned. The software flagged him at a 99.8% match. The man who taught me that the truth is the only thing that survives was currently trying to bury it under 6 feet of encrypted trash. He thought he was the admin of this city. He forgot that every admin leaves a footprint. The air in the evidence locker felt like lead. Miller walked toward me, his boots echoing on the concrete. He didn't look like a hero anymore. He looked like a predator. "Give me the drive, Elias," he said. His voice was calm, which was worse. "You think you're the first kid with a conscience to find a hole in the system? The chief knows. The commissioner knows. We keep the balance. You destroy that drive, and you're a hero in this building forever. You keep it, and you're a footnote in a suicide report." I felt my hands shaking, but not from fear, from pure, unadulterated rage. I held up my phone. "It's already gone, Sarge." I set a dead man's switch on the precinct's outbound uplink. If I don't punch in a code every 60 minutes, the raw footage, the recovery logs, and your login metadata go live to the DOJ and the morning news. You didn't just erase a file, Miller. You erased your soul. And now, the city is going to watch the playback. Miller is currently awaiting trial in a federal facility. Turns out, he was on the payroll for 3 different syndicates. The 4th precinct is under a consent decree, and half the heroes I looked up to are taking early retirement to avoid the grand jury. As for me, I handed in my badge. You can't fix a house when the foundation is built on lies. People ask if I regret it. They say I destroyed the brotherhood, but a brotherhood that requires you to bury a murder isn't a brotherhood, it's a gang. In 2026, technology gave us the tools to see through the darkness, but it still takes a human being to step into the light. Justice isn't a file you can delete. It's the truth that remains when the lights go out. Justice is served. In a world where data can be deleted and heroes can be bought, the only thing that stands between order and chaos is the person willing to look at the evidence. Elias risked everything, his career, his safety, and his brotherhood, to make sure that badge still meant something. What would you have done? Would you have looked the other way to protect the golden boy? Or would you have hit restore? Drop a comment below. Is there such a thing as the greater good in policing? Or is a dirty cop just a criminal with a head start? Hit that subscribe button and ring the bell. We're uncovering the cases the archives tried to burn. Don't let the truth stay hidden. Share this video. Help us show the world that in the age of the digital footprint, justice is always served. See you in the next investigation.